Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking you through all about my tattoo removal experience from start to finish. When I wanted to start removing my tattoo, I kind of looked for these type of videos myself just to kind of talk through the process, and I couldn't really find anything and the information exactly that I needed and wanted at the time. So I thought this video might come in useful for anyone that's searching for this as well. If you're not interested in knowing how to remove a tattoo, obviously this video isn't for everyone, so please feel free to just watch my next video or my previous one. I've got all of the information in front of me because there is a lot to go through, but I just want to quickly do a little disclaimer to say that I'm not like a professional. I don't know the ins and outs of this. This is just my personal experience. Obviously everybody's tattoos are different in sizes, shapes, colors, etc. So this is just going by my tattoo personally. But yeah, if you're interested in knowing more about my experience, then just keep on watching. I'm going to basically ask some of the top questions that I think you guys would like to know the answers to. I had my first patch test done in April of 2016, which is basically where they take like a tiny little area of your tattoo and then they'll just test you with the laser to make sure that you're okay with going ahead with further treatments. But this is something that I've wanted to do for like a really long time, so I knew that I wanted to be patient and go through with the rest of the treatments. But yeah, so I'm going to answer some of the top questions now. The first one is, how does it work? I've got it written down in front of me, so please bear with because I didn't want to get this wrong. The laser injects the skin with intense light, which breaks up the ink and leads to tattoo fading. The body then removes the pigments over time. The laser is harmless and only targets the tattoo area, leaving the surrounding area unharmed. So there is no way of your skin getting damaged. It's completely harmless. So most of you are probably going to want to know if it's painful, does it hurt? It's probably the same kind of level of pain as what it is to get your tattoo done. However, the kind of pain is obviously a lot different. The way I've described it to like friends and family is like an intense kind of scratching / burning sensation, I would say. But because my tattoo is fairly small, it's not long before the pain is over. Once it's done, it's not really very painful. Well, at least for me it wasn't anyway. They'll cover it up with like a patch. Once you take the patch off, I just used to kind of smother it in pseudo cream, let it sink in overnight, and then that kind of just helps the healing process. The amount of treatments that you will need will totally depend on the size of your tattoo, the shape and the color. For me, my tattoo was not fairly big at all. It was pretty small, I would say. I had a total of 7 treatments. However, 4 of them was like laser removal for my tattoo, and then the final 3 treatments was just basically to try and get rid of like the final little shadowing that was left behind from the tattoo. But obviously, again, yeah, that will depend on the size of your tattoo. If you do have a small one, I would probably say around 4 to 5 treatments. However, if it is bigger, then obviously you'll need more than that. So now the questions are out the way, I'm going to talk about my personal experience going from like treatment 1 to treatment 7 with Pulse Light Clinic. So when you walk in, they give you like some groovy little glasses to put on to protect your eyes from the laser. You lay down, they make you feel really comfortable. It's not like an awkward experience at all. They're all so lovely there. My tattoo is like quite low on my hip, so I just used to, you know, get myself ready for that. They will also use like a suction to blow out cold air so that it kind of numbs the pain, which really helps. They will ask you if you want to like stop in between just to kind of like ease the pressure and the pain a little bit if it is hurting. However, for me, I just wanted to kind of get it over with really quickly, plus my tattoo is not really that big, so I always ask them to just kind of get it over with and go all in one, so it was done and out of the way. Once it's done, they will then cover it with some like antiseptic cream and then put like a little kind of plaster over the top just so that your clothes or anything doesn't irritate that area. I think I left it on for like 24 hours, so not that long, and then you'll just take it off, which is when I used to smother it with some pseudo cream. So also I wanted to mention that after the first one, you will notice the results pretty instantly. So the tattoo will kind of fade to like a white almost, and it will look like it's almost non-existent. Then after like you take the plaster off once it's done, it will kind of like start to scab over just like a regular scab, and then it won't be white anymore. Like the colouring will slowly come back, but obviously a faded version. In between the treatments, they will always leave like a 6-week waiting period just to give your tattoo time to heal. I think they also advise not to go like swimming straight after and doing too much exercise, depending on like where the tattoo is, just to let it heal as nicely as possible. So once that 6-week gap is over and then you go in for your next treatment, it's basically the same procedure. After my second treatment, the results were clearly visible. There was no change. It was exactly the same as my first treatment. I just went in, they used the same laser and did exactly the same, but I could notice slowly it was like starting to fade how I wanted it to go, so I was really happy. So treatment number 3 was when I started to notice the most results, I would say. The lady actually used a stronger laser for this one, so the pain was slightly higher than before. Then afterwards it went into like quite a big kind of red scab, as you will see. I'll post like pictures as I go along, but it did take a little bit longer to heal, but it was totally worth it because that was when I started to notice that it was like really kind of going. So when it goes into like that kind of scabbing stage is when it starts to like crumble. So as the scab starts to crumble away, it also peels away that layering of the tattoo as well, if that makes sense. So this takes me to treatment number 4, which is where she used the same laser again, so the stronger one, just to kind of get rid of that last bit of ink from the tattoo. Again, it formed a scab and then kind of like peeled away in its own time. Pretty much all that was left from this one, if I remember rightly, was just like the shadowing, and this is when they started to change the laser from here on to try and get rid of the shadow. Once treatment number 5 was out of the way, they then suggested to leave all treatments for 6 months and then go through the summer and kind of just expose it to the sun, or like if I was going away, etc., because that would naturally like make the tattoo fade by itself without any treatment, which it did. So after my 6-month period of being away from treatments, I went back for another 2 treatments, which basically there was literally like next to nothing left. So for number 6 and 7, on both of those treatments they used the same laser from before, just to remove like the final little touches of shadowing that was left. And voila, that pretty much leaves me up to not having a tattoo anymore. But yeah, so it was a long process, but if I show you guys now, I will actually do like a little close-up on the screen. My tattoo is pretty much non-existent. So considering it went from this to this, I would definitely say that the results were definitely worth it. I mean, this is something that I've wanted to do for like a really long time. I didn't hate the tattoo, I just felt like it wasn't really like me anymore. I just didn't really have any kind of meaning behind it or connections. So yeah, if I can get rid of something and I'm not happy with it, then why not? So yeah, that's why I went ahead with it. It did take a little under 2 years, but I definitely do think it is worth it, and everyone at Pulselight is so lovely. So if you are interested in finding a good place to get your tattoo removed, I'll put all of their details in the description box down below so that you can easily contact them. It's called Pulselight Clinic and they are based in London. They have like a couple different branches. So yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you do have any other kind of questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm also going to do like a mini little picture update clip thing on my Instagram, so if you want to check that out, you can. I'll put my link on the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed this, found it helpful, and you got some useful information from it, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye!